Well, I know it's hard to kind of wrap our minds around, but we're already a little bit into spring, which means summer is right around the corner, and that means summer vacation, and it's a beloved time by many.
I miss it.
I
I really wish that there was adult summer vacation. If there was any way that I could get that written into my contract, I would do it. I don't think they're going to let me get by with that, though.
They might not let you get away with that one, but I think part of what was so special, at least for me as a kid, when it came to summer break, is that we went weeks with nowhere to be and nothing to do, and it was amazing. And apparently, if you grew up with certain traits of having a long, boring summer, no camps, no constant screens, just figuring things out on your own, it actually did shape a little bit of how maybe you turned out as an adult. Those slow days forced you to entertain yourself, and over time that built a specific set of traits. Things like being imaginative, independent, a little competitive with some of those backyard games that maybe you were playing with the neighborhood kids.
3 for 3 so
far. Comfortable alone, introspective, patient, not bothered by boredom, observant, resourceful, creative, and appreciative.
I think at certain times in my life, all of those things have been true.
Yeah.
Now in the phone era,
Yes.
being comfortable with boredom has been less and less something that I embrace, even as I know it's important, as I know I should be doing more to embrace it.
Yeah.
So I think that all of that stuff makes sense to me. I mean, I can think about endless numbers of summer days when you were a kid and you just had nothing to do. Maybe you went and found the other kids in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. You invented some sport to compete at.
Yep.
Or you went on an adventure together. Yes. And traipsing through the woods and
yes.
Pretending that you're hunting something down or whatever.
Absolutely. And I think it's rare, but occasionally we get those days as adults where you're not tied to the clock, when the time matters absolutely zero. You find that the day feels so much longer. And occasionally when we're out on the water or some beach day where it truly does not matter how many minutes have passed, you let your stomach be your guide on when you're hungry, you let your sunburn be your guide on when it's time to go back to the hotel room. I feel like those days captured just a little bit of that magical feeling, and I really do think it's because you don't have to care what time it is.
Well, and what's sad is that it feels like most of the time as an adult, you only get that if you get a vacation, and maybe that only happens once every other year or something like that. And they're such important days. They're so good for your brain, I think, and for reconnecting with yourself. The introspective parts of that are really great. You can get that sitting out on the beach or whatever. So it is attainable, but a lot of times people are just too busy, especially if you're somebody with kids. I know that you're worried about them running all over
You're the ones making sure they don't have to worry about the time.
Exactly. You're doing your job to make sure they get to have that moment, but it is nice to get it.
Yeah, but I think too, even on vacation sometimes, because it's so rare, you're still, depending on your type of vacation, you're in go, go, go mode. Do you think we're lucky living on the coast that you do get some weekends that feel like that?
Yes.
Occasionally.
And a lot of times the best ones are the unplanned ones, where you suddenly find yourself with a Sunday with nothing going on, and you've got it to yourself, and it's a nice day out. Maybe you go for a walk, or you just do a thing that lets your brain wander, be creative,
even just riding my bike instead of taking the car.
Stuff.
Yeah, that slowed my Sunday down immensely last weekend. So maybe try to be a little bit more intentional with some free time that you have. See if you can bring back some of that power of nostalgia. But of course, we've got more Coast Life for you, more fun on the way.